Cabinet reshuffle has taken place. Business actors appreciate the move. Waskita Karya sets capital expenditure of 11.5 trillion rupiah in 2021. Good afternoon, viewers in Indonesia and Singapore. Market Lens is ready to provide you a number of informations from the business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Wicky Adrian. This is Market Headlines. Business actors appreciate President's move to change the composition of ministers through cabinet reshuffle. Reshuffle is expected to accelerate economic growth. Maritime Affairs and Fisheries Minister Edi Prabowo and Social Affairs Minister Juliari Batubara were recently arrested on corruption charges. The minister's failure has pushed President to be more inclined to reshuffle his cabinet. Plan to reshuffle cabinet has been warmly welcomed by business actors. General Secretary of Association of Indonesian National Construction Contractors, Andi Rukman Karumpa, stated that a new cabinet may allow a fresh start as the government seeks to recover economy and begin mass vaccination next year.
Harapan kami, reshuffle kabinet ini dapat memacu pertumbuhan ekonomi kita, meningkatkan TKDN kita, memberdayakan UMKM, kemudian akselerasi pertumbuhan ekonomi kita tumbuh dengan baik, dan akhirnya bisa menciptakan lapangan kerja. Saya pikir itu harapan.
Government is about to increase the stamp duty to 1,000 or 10,000 rupiah for document deals starting next year, both electronic or conventional document. As it raised polemic among public, Minister of Finance finally gave clarification about the discourse.
Based on the Constitution's number 10, year 2020, regarding stamp duty, every electronic and conventional documents will be charged of stamp duty by 10,000 rupiah. It has close relations to stock trading transactions, whereas public worried that the stamp duty will be charged in every stock transactions. As the issue is up in the air and raised public awareness, Ministry of Finance finally gave clarifications about it. Minister firmly stated that the stamp duty will be charged for document transactions within a day, not every stocks transactions. In the other hand, the main idea of the stamp duty is to raise equality between electronic document and conventional document. Minister also denied the issue that the stamp duty rise will be applied by January 1st.
Tanggal 1 Januari belum akan diberlakukan karena persiapannya mungkin akan membutuhkan beberapa waktu. Sedangkan pengenaan bea materai akan dilakukan terhadap dokumen tentu dengan mempertimbangkan batas kewajaran nilainya.
The Minister of Finance ensures its party to be proportional in implementing stamp duty and will remain coordinated with Central Bank and Financial Services Authority. Jakarta, Rahajo Pakmo for IDX Channel.
The government has been providing social assistance to needy families, moreover in the context of the corona pandemic in Indonesia. Finance Ministry said that so far, given social assistance has successfully reduced poverty rate of 1%.
Up until December 14th, government has spent 452.6 trillion rupiah for social assistance. This is almost 70% given the sailing budget. Good budget absorptions had led into a good result. Deputy Minister of Finance Suhasil Nazara stated that social assistance has reduced poverty share of 1%. The Deputy Minister explains that the government has spent 217.16 trillion rupiah for social protections program from a sailing of 230.21 trillion rupiah. With the amount of absorptions, the Ministry of Finance is optimistic that the poverty rate can be reduced in the level of 8.99%. As a worst-case scenario, without social protections program, the poverty rate can reach 10.96%.
Studi dari Kementerian Keuangan menunjukkan bahwa perlindungan sosial ini menekan laju kemiskinan ke tingkat 8,99% dari yang kalau tidak ada upaya perlindungan sosial yang signifikan, maka angka kemiskinan itu bisa saja meningkat ke angka 10,96% karena pandemi COVID-19.
The role of social assistance program is very important for the needy families. Recently, government put big allocations funds to social assistance program as the coronavirus pandemic is plunging already vulnerable families into a greater crisis. From Jakarta, Rahajo Pambo for IDX Channel.
After going through economic upheaval in 2020, many parties expect the economy will recover in 2021. However, economic observers from INDEF still doubt about next year's economic growth. Economic recovery in 2021 still becomes huge question mark. Economic observer from INDEF, Rusli Abdullah, stated that COVID-19 handling is the most important key to strive economic recovery. If COVID-19 handling goes well, it will certainly boost national economy. Not only the handling method to suppress the positive cases rate, but vaccination is also important to boost national economy. Ideally, vaccination should cover 70% of total population. Therefore, pandemic will pass as soon as possible and economy can go dynamic again as economic activities can go normal as it was in the pre-pandemic time.
Kata kunci adalah vaksinasi, harus bisa meng-cover 70% penduduk minimal di tahun 2021. Yang kedua adalah menjaga agar aliran barang ataupun jasa dari produsen konsumen itu tetap berjalan lancar. Caranya dengan apa? Dengan memperbanyak ataupun menambah kapasitas online internet ya, sehingga pemasaran ataupun terutama pemasaran ya dari produsen konsumen itu bisa berjalan lancar.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Nama saya Devisa Novel, jabatan saat ini di IDX Channel adalah sebagai produser dan sekaligus presenter program yang dibawakan saat ini dengan nama IDX Second Session Closing, terkait juga dengan kondisi capital market Indonesia dan perkembangannya dari waktu ke waktu. Dan saya sangat senang untuk belajar dan berkecimpung di berita ekonomi, khususnya di capital market. Senang sekali saya Devisa Novel dan dapat hadir menemani Anda dalam program spesial dialog webinar on TV.
Setiap minggunya kita akan membahas tema-tema yang sangat menarik. Apa kabar ibu-ibu sekalian?
Alhamdulillah baik.
Salah satu ambisi daripada Kementerian Koperasi dan UMKM bersama Smesco adalah koperasi keren, baru, digital gitu kan, yang kita bisa IT.
Pergerakan indeks harga saham gabungan sepanjang perdagangan hari ini tertekan, level 5 ribuan kembali ditinggalkan. Bagaimana analisis Anda?
Masih ada peluang turun lebih lanjut. Kalau misalkan regionalnya memerah, nah maka tidak tertutup kemungkinan kita juga akan ketularan kan.
Dan beberapa perbankan yang diduga melakukan transaksi mencurigakan dan semoga bisa menjadi salah satu referensi untuk Anda dan seperti apa ke depannya.
Welcome back. Finally, President has confirmed cabinet reshuffle. Here it is, the complete statement from President Joko Widodo. Iya, Reader SOT.
Yang pertama, Ibu Tri Risma Harini. Saya kira kita tahu semuanya, beliau adalah Wali Kota Surabaya, dan saat ini Bu Tri Risma Harini akan kita berikan tanggung jawab untuk menjadi Menteri Sosial. Silakan, Bu. Kemudian yang kedua, saya ingin mengenalkan, tapi kita semuanya saya kira sudah tahu, yaitu Bapak Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno. Beliau adalah dulu Wakil Gubernur DKI Jakarta, Ketua HIPMI, dan saat ini beliau akan kita berikan tanggung jawab untuk memimpin Kementerian Pariwisata dan Ekonomi Kreatif. Kemudian yang ketiga, Bapak Budi Gunadi Sadikin. Beliau sebelumnya adalah Direktur Utama Bank Mandiri, kemudian menjadi Direktur Utama PT Asan Aluminium, dan terakhir menjadi Wakil Menteri BUMN, dan sekarang kita berikan tanggung jawab untuk memimpin Kementerian Kesehatan. Yang keempat adalah Bapak Yakut Khalil Kaumas. Beliau adalah tokoh Muslim, Ketua PPGP Ansor, dan akan kita berikan tanggung jawab sebagai Menteri Agama.
Due to the establishment of Nusantara Investment Authority, or NIA, the Indonesian government stated its readiness to inject 75 trillion rupiah initial capital to the investment management institution.
The Indonesian government will inject funds worth 75 trillion rupiah for the initial capital of Indonesia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, or formerly called Nusantara Investment Authority, or NIA, while the injection of funds come from 2020 state budget and other sources. The decision is contained in Government Regulation Number 74 of 2020 concerning initial capital for investment management institutions. In addition, it is also regulated in Government Regulation Number 73 of 2020 concerning investment management institutions. Nusantara Investment Authority's capital of 75 trillion rupiah will be fulfilled in two stages, namely the initial capital deposit in the form of cash funds of at least 15 trillion rupiah. The rest is in the form of capital fulfillment after the initial deposit is carried out in stages until 2021. Capital participation from the state is provided in the form of cash, state-owned goods, state receivables to SOE, and limited liability companies and state-owned shares. For information, Nusantara Investment Authority will later become an institution that is given special authority in the context of managing central government investment, then carry out investment management activities, collaborate with other parties including trust fund entities, determine potential investment partners, provide and receive loans, and administer assets. From all sources for IDX Channel.
The establishment of the Indonesian Investment Management Institution went well, especially after the Omnibus Law was passed, which indeed mandated the establishment of the Investment Management Institution. But what are the actual duties and functions of the Indonesia's Investment Management Institution? Let's check it out on the first graphic. This is the establishment of Nusantara Investment Authority, or NIA. The function and tasks: 1. Placing funds in financial instruments, carried out asset management activities, cooperating with other parties, including trust fund entities, determine potential investment partners, and providing and receiving loans, and administration of assets. This is based on Government Regulation number 74 of 2020. Coordinating Minister for the Economy Affairs Erlangga Hartarto said that the Nusantara Investment Authority would manage investment funds from abroad and within the country as an alternative source of financing, and at the same time reduce dependence on short-term funds. Furthermore, the establishment of this institution aims to increase and optimize the value of investment that's managed in the long term to support sustainable development. In addition, the government hopes that the Nusantara Investment Authority will have flexibility in investing, professional and independent management, and be able to capture investors' appetite. So regarding the operation of this institution, what is the actual capital mechanism for establishing this institution? The information is in the next graphic. This is Nusantara Investment Authority's initial capital scheme. Stage 1, capital deposit by the government in the form of cash funds, at least 15 trillion rupiah. And in the second stage, or the stage 2, fulfillment of capital gradually until it reaches 75 trillion in 2021. And the injection of funds comes from the 2020 state budget and other sources. As stated by President Joko Widodo, the Indonesian government will inject funds worth 75 trillion rupiah for the initial capital of this institution. The government said that the injection of funds came from the 2020 state budget and other sources, which is regulated in Government Regulation number 74 of 2020 concerning initial capital for investment management institutions. In more detail, after the injection of 15 trillion rupiah in phase 1, the government will try to fulfill its gradual capital fulfillment, which is given in the form of cash, state-owned goods, state receivables to SOE, and public companies and government shares in SOE or public companies. Not only about capital, Nusantara Investment Authority also needs strategic partners or investors who have funds that can be managed both from within and outside the country. It's answered by the investment commitments of a number of countries in this institution. What are these countries? We check the data in the next graphic. So this is the initial foreign investment to Nusantara Investment Authority, or NIA, U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, as much as $2 billion. And then we have Japan Bank for International Cooperation, $4 billion, and CPP Investment, $2 billion. And not only succeed in attracting foreign investors to engage, the establishment of this institution also had a positive impact on SOE share price in the construction and infrastructure sector. Let's check the information on the next graphic. This is the impact of NIA rules issuance on SOE infrastructure shares price by December 17, 2020. Waskita Karya went up the price of the share 20.2%, Adikarya went up 14.7%, Pembangunan Perumahan 8.5%, Wijaya Karya 7.7%, Semen Batu Raja 6.12%, Jasa Marga 4.68%, and Semen Indonesia 2.58%. Mirai Asset Sekuritas Analyst Joshua Michael said that the establishment of NIA would have the potential to increase the number of projects that SOE infrastructures could undertake. And hopefully the presence of the Nusantara Investment Authority can be a support for Indonesia's independence, especially in terms of development funding, but of course with a careful and transparent management and supervision. Stay tuned on Market Lines because we'll be right back after the break.
Sebetulnya industri hilir itu lokal itu udah siap. Jadi pemerintah juga nggak perlu lagi menarik investor untuk industri hilir. Jadi pemerintah cukup menarik investor untuk industri bahan baku.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangi Teracong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Perbaikan pertumbuhan ekonomi adalah bukti bahwa penanganan COVID-19 berjalan dengan maksimal.
Dari data-data yang ada, kita sudah mulai bangkit dari resesi ini.
Presiden Joko Widodo menekankan peningkatan pengembangan pasar harus dilakukan di tengah pandemi COVID-19.
Saya ingin ingatkan dan tekankan kembali untuk terus mencari pasar-pasar baru.
Ingin menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera? Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi. Cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.
We're on last segment. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,169.95. Then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 6,113.89. Then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,019.75. In short, JCI went down 2.37%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got trade as the leader of the weakening trend that went down 2.92%. Basic industry went down 2.85%. Miss industry went down 2.36%. And consumer goods went down 1.34%. Moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. BNLI went up 18.52% to the level of 3,200 per share. BCIP went up 15.79% to the level of 88 per share. BNII went up 14.86% to the level of 340 per share. DMMX went up 13.71% to the level of 224 per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, Wika went down 6.97% to the level of 1,935 rupiah. Asri went down 6.94% to the level of 268 rupiah per share. PPRO went down 6.9% to the level of 108 rupiah per share. PSAB went down 6.85% to the level of 272 rupiah per share. And this is the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,218. Rupiah was also showing a weakening trend towards US dollar. It was close at the level of 14,168. In summary, rupiah went down 0.31%. Government on Monday recorded 67,509 COVID-19 suspects in Indonesia. There are plenty of these suspects who are asymptomatic. Therefore, COVID-19 handling task force demanded people to stay alert.
Up to December 21st, government recorded 6,848 COVID-19 positive cases for the last 24 hours. The surging additional number has made the total of COVID-19 cases in Indonesia to be 671,778. COVID-19 Task Force expert team Duro Wongkaren firmly stated that the society needs to keep implementing COVID-19 preventive health protocol. In some cases, people experience no symptoms and they transmit the virus significantly to fewer people than someone with symptoms. As there's a growing asymptomatic infections, COVID-19 handling task force say that people should continue to use measures to reduce viral spread, including social distancing and wearing masks, regardless of whether they have symptoms or not.
Bahkan viral seseorang yang badannya itu sangat bugar gitu. Karena dia berolahraga segala macam, tetapi dia harus dirawat selama 17 hari. Ini menunjukkan bahwa memang COVID tidak pandang bulu. Kita bisa saja memang menekankan pada saat itu, saya menjaga imunitas saya kok dengan.
And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program and have a nice evening and stay safe. Emang begitu?
Halo pemirsa IDX Channel, kembali bersama